Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to talk to you about Rocket Lab and if it is a mistake or has been a mistake for me to invest in Rocket Lab. I bought into the company about six months-ish ago, where you see these arrows, and since then the stock has gone up 50% and has retraced 50%, so it has gone nowhere. And I know there's a lot of people out there who is scared for their investment. In the Rocket Lab community, I also see a lot of people who are buying, and very well done, guys. So in this video, I want to give you my honest thoughts about what's happening with Rocket Lab, and I want to give you some viewpoints on what you should do if you're bullish, or how you should handle your portfolio in these very bad times for Rocket Lab. So please make sure that you're subscribed as always, and let's begin the video. So it's always very important to see first from a 10,000 foot view what's happening with the stock. So this is the stock of Rocket Lab since they de-SPACed at $10. You see that we went up to even $20, and then in the 2022 stock market crash, we crashed down to around $3.7, and then we have been range bound ever since. And currently we are at the low end of this range, very close to this 3.70 that has been acting as a support since. And the top of the range is this, $6 that is here, and sometimes we have been in the almost even in the $8. So this is for the stock, but what is this company up to? I mean, currently the market cap is below $2 billion, so that's crazy cheap compared to certain other companies. And what has this company done since I have bought it? So since I have bought it, they announced a 100% increase in their next year's launch of neutrons. They reiterated that they are in time and on budget with the neutron rocket. They have become a space prime, and they won a $500 million contract from the Space Development Agency. Why is this coming up here? I'm sorry. There we go. Now we got rid of it. They have gotten a bunch of other new contracts. They acquired facilities, and it feels like the company has been executing very well since I have been a stockholder. So normally when the company executes really well and the stock price stays the same or goes lower, that is a very big buying opportunity. Even if we look at the most recent tweets from Rocket Lab, you can see that they just released a tweet storm about their neutron pad. So the neutron launch site is taking shape. While we're gearing up for the next Electron launch in the coming days, here's what the Neutron team has been up to on the pad right next door. And then they show that the water tank has arrived. They're showing that concrete is being poured. And by the way, Peter Beck said that that's one of the things that you need to be on the lookout for, because if concrete is being poured, it means that they are very well ahead in their design decisions. It's showing that 5 minutes drive from the pad, the neutron integration facility is under construction. So definitely things are happening on the neutron front. And I think that this is one of the most important things for the stock, because Wall Street and probably investors are very nervously looking at if neutron is on time. And Rocket Lab has been accused of inflating their progress, or misrepresenting their progress with neutron, and they have refuted these claims. And now you can see these tweets, and it does look good. It does look good. We know that it's a tight timeline, but the fact that things are happening, it makes you feel like they are holding this timeline. Obviously, the most important thing is the hot fire test of the Archimedes engines, which I think will really nail if we're on time or not. But this is very, very nice to see. And on the production side, we can see that their fourth rocket launch this quarter is on the pad and ready to launch in 3 short days. Hopefully I will be able to live stream this one, not 100% sure, but I will let you know on Twitter if you follow me there. And this is the most easily visible part of their business, but it's also the smaller part of their business. So we know that they guided for 90 between, oh, it's too late now. It was something like $94 to $104 million in revenue. And we know that they were guiding at first for 5 launches and they missed one of them. So we know that we have to take away 7.5 million or maybe 8 million from the 104. So when this launch goes up and it goes without any hiccups, we know that they will be 92 to 94 million in revenue. How do we know? It's because the space systems part that they have is not weather dependent, and I think that one is very easy for them to control, and they reiterated the guidance even at the end of February conference call, that they had with investors, and that time 60% of the quarter is gone. So that means that in this quarter, Rocket Lab is going to be something like 70% growing year over year. And I think that this is absolutely not being factored in by Wall Street. And why do I say that? It's because in the last earnings, they pre-released the numbers and 1 month before the actual earnings came. And when I got the notification by my broker, Interactive Brokers, that it's soon Rocket Lab earnings day, and they showed me the consensus estimate for EPS and earnings, I saw that the analysts didn't even bother to update their numbers for the numbers that have been pre-released for at least a month. So I think that Wall Street is completely ignoring how amazing this quarter is. I don't understand why the stock price is coming down, and I don't understand how it can be as low as it is. But as I always say on this channel, you have to be, 1, right about the stock, and number 2, you have to be right about what Wall Street is going to think about the stock. And clearly Wall Street is not thinking about Rocket Lab stock or space stocks. For some reason, the attention is on other things currently. But what do you do when this thing happens? So first of all, what I always do is take a step back, just like we did, go over how is the company doing, is the investment thesis intact? And the truth is, I'm more bullish on the company than when I bought in about 6 months ago. So there's no problem there. Now we look at the macro. We know that inflation is under control. We know that there is going to be rate cuts this year, which is going to very, very much help small cap stocks. And this is definitely a very, very small cap stock. The only question is, are we going to get 4 rate cuts or are we going to get 2 rate cuts? But it's pretty much a sure thing at this point that there is going to be rate cuts, and it's going to be very, very helpful for this stock. So the macro in the near term is looking very, very favorable for this stock. We also know that there is $6+ billion in money market funds account, and that is basically investable money in the stock market that people choose to not invest because they don't think that the stock market is safe now. So that means that all the rallies that we have is, very, very sustainable because there is dry powder on the sidelines that can come in as soon as the investors feel ready to invest in the stock market again. So even this is looking good. So if we take a summary, the company is executing very, very well. The macro is looking very, very favorable for the company, and yet the stock price is down. So how should we think about this as very long-term investors? So you are going to be safe with your position as long as you don't have margin, because that means that the stock can go irrationally, unbelievably low. Let's say it can go even $3.50 or even $3, and you're not going to be at risk. So that's point number 1. So make sure that you don't have any margin while you are owning the stock, or you can control the margin, and if you need to add, you can add to the account. Number two is, if you haven't built out a position yet that you're comfortable on with Rocket Lab, then these are the perfect times to add to your position. Many of you are underwater on Rocket Lab. I think almost all of you. Please let me know in the comments, is there anyone who is watching Rocket Lab currently who is not underwater on their stocks? And in that case, I want to have you on the channel, and please let me know how you can pick a stock price so good. But in any case, if you have an average price that is in the 5s, in the 6s, I have seen some comments where people have an average price on the 8s. If you start buying now, it very, very greatly drops down your cost basis on the stock. So that's number two. And number three, if you feel too nervous and like you can't sleep because of your position in Rocket Lab, because the truth is, even though everything that I said, we might be wrong. And maybe this is a dot. I don't think it is, but nobody's going to be 100% right about the stocks. And you need to have a position that is big enough. It's big enough that if the stock goes 10x or 15x, it's going to be very meaningful to your life. But if it doesn't go that way and it goes the other way, it needs to be small enough that it doesn't financially ruin you. So every one of you who watches that video, you need to do the math for yourself, what that is. But if you cannot sleep at night and you stay up worrying about Rocket Lab, probably your position is too big, or probably you need to go through again and have a look at your thesis and why you invested in this company. So thank you so much for watching this video. As I said many times before, I think that for us content creators, the most important time to remind people about the stocks that we're covering is when the stock price is down. It's not when it's going up. Unfortunately, this is when the least amount of people are going to buy, and the most amount of people are going to miss these opportunities. And when the stock is going to be up in the 8s and the 10s, that's when the masses are going to come in, and they will wish that they would have been buying at these prices. So keep that in mind. So I hope this video gave you value. Let me know in the comments what you think. Please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.